All right, it is August 28th, 2026. I am once again in my car driving to Ohio again. So a 6-hour trip, so I decided, guess it's a good time to make another video update for this documentation for this manifestation process of manifesting the life that I most desire to live and shifting out of the life that I was living, which was not aligned with what I wanted, but rather conditioned and what I thought I had to be doing. So we just had the full moon eclipse last night. It peaked at 12:12, which is actually really incredible because 12 is the number of also completion. So this eclipse was very symbolic of the old narrative, the old chapter of life ending, coming to a close, and honoring that old life for what it was, honoring that it served its purpose and it was good for the time that it was there for learning and experiencing. But now it's time to open a new chapter and to step into it fully, to embody it fully, fearlessly, unapologetically, with excitement, with curiosity, with trust and faith, and letting it unfold in real time. So there's several things that I want to kind of hit on, and I'm going to try and remember to hit on all of them, but I don't know how well I'll be able to do that because I don't have it written down, so I might forget one or two. But one thing, as far as the last videos that I made, one thing that's kind of been revealed to me, and this is the fun part about this, not only this process is really fun, but also being able to document this process in real time is also really cool, because I can actively show, like, hey, that's what I was thinking then, but I've now since learned this, and you can see the evolution of consciousness. So, like in the last video, I was talking about how the universe is really laying it on thick and giving me all of these situations for me to embody and integrate my new lessons in real life. But I've really come to realize that actually all of these things have always been happening and are happening around me every single day. Nothing new or novel is being thrown at me for testing or pressure or anything like that. I'm simply responding to it with a new level of consciousness, with a new awareness, with a new understanding. And so it's all the same old things. It's just now my perspective has changed. Nothing is actually new. So that was one thing I came to realize since making that last video. And that's not to say that there's not a playfulness and that there isn't some of that kind of stuff going on, as far as I do think that there is, in a very playful way, some of those situations that come up. But for the most part, I think that it's really, that's just life here. Like, that's just slow drivers, people cruising slowly in the left lane, getting off at the wrong exit, or whatever it might be. It's like, that's totally just normal, everyday life things for humans. So it's really that I'm just starting to learn how to move through the world differently with more consciousness, with more awareness and understanding. So that's one big thing that I wanted to kind of mention. Another thing is that it seems like the season of right now for me that I've heard, oh my gosh, so many times in the last month, is that it is now time for action and for movement forward in alignment with what I feel in my heart to be my truth, my purpose in being here, what excites me, what expands me, what allows me to create in a way that I am most passionate about, the things that bring me the most joy and the things that just resonate with me as the best, right? Those are the things that I am supposed to move forward to and with, so that I can start to really create the life that is my most exciting, most beautiful, most aligned, most dream life that I can imagine. That's how I do it. Before, and this is key, before there's evidence that any of it will work out. Before that there is any money in my bank account. Before there is any logical proof, physical proof that, you know, all of the holes that need to be filled in order for my kennel to be brought into fruition, there's no proof that they're going to be filled right now. There's no, there just isn't. There just is not. But I'm moving forward saying, well, I've had the dream of this kennel in my heart since I was 20 years old. I'm 35 years old. And that dream has never left. That dream has never gone away. That dream has never diminished. Now, there have been times in my life where it's kind of gone to the back burner and it's kind of just been put on hold because of other things in life taking the steering wheel. But it's always been such a huge passion and excitement and fire inside of my heart to say, yeah, I'm going to have a world-class breeding kennel, breeding the best dogs on this planet. So that's what I'm moving forward with. I mean, of course, I do also have the desire to serve others. Absolutely. But I believe that will be a part of the kennel. That's all going to be a part of the same thing. This is the other thing. Not only not having proof, but not knowing how it's going to play out. Not knowing what the outcome is going to look like exactly. Not knowing how things are going to integrate and play together. How is serving humanity as a collective? How is me having a top world-class breeding kennel going to serve the collective of humanity? I don't know. But I can tell you that there's limitless options of how it could. So I just let it play out. I don't have to have those answers right now. I don't have to know. I don't have to know the how. I don't have to have the money. I don't have to have any proof that it's going to work out. But I just have to know that this is what excites me. This is the passion burning inside of me. And this is what I want to create and manifest on this earth right now. That's all I need. That's it. That's all I need. So now I'm stepping forward and I am trusting that everything is going to support that in the way that it should. Now, I'm also not, the point too is that you cannot try to force any outcome. You can't say, well, I have to have this, this, and that. It has to look like this. It has to be, I have to have so many dogs. This dog has to say, this dog has to be bred by then. This dog has to have this title by then. This, it doesn't have to have all of these forced exact outcomes. It's like, this is my overall goal. And I do have, those things that I'm talking about. Yes, I have those tentative plans, but I'm not trying to force them. If they work out, excellent. If they don't, excellent. Something better is going to work out. So no matter what happens, great. Perfect. Literally perfect. No matter what happens. Because when you're aligned, and I've been listening to videos on this trip. So when you're aligned, meaning your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions are aligned with that which you know to be your truth, which only you can know, no one can tell you. And if you're letting other people influence that, you're going to be confused and you're not going to be aligned. So number one, if you haven't already taken that first step of establishing, what do me, not my mom, not my dad, not my partner, not my friends, not my teachers, not my, you name it, not them, no one else. What do I, in my heart of hearts, really desire to do with this life? If I had all of the resources in the universe handed to me to go out and live this particular life, what would that look like? And then figure out, well, what is it exactly about this life that makes it so that this is what I really want to do? And just start step by step. It's a step by step thing. It's not like, okay, now I've got to go do all of this today. Make it happen right now. This week it's got to happen. No, it's going to be today. I'm going to take this one step. And maybe that one step is just thinking about what it is and figuring out what it is. Or at least starting to. Maybe you won't even figure it out today, and that's fine. But at least now you're on that path of thinking about, what is this? What is it that I'm really supposed to be doing? Or that I'm really, want to be doing? Because I am a full believer that we all came into this life with a plan of what we want to experience, or what we want to create, or whatever it might be. We all have a reason. So go figure out what that reason is, and that is within you. It's not going to be by looking outside of you. You have to go within. So those are things that are playing largely in my field right now. It's like, and I'm doing what I can. That's the other thing. You have to work within what's in your control. You can't worry about the things that are outside of your control. But whatever is within your control, do those things in alignment with your highest path. So that's what I'm trying to do. And it's crazy. I'm going federal levels of speed. Federally illegal levels of speed. And it's people will still be riding my asshole. But guess that's how it is around here. So that's the biggest thing right now for me, is just, it's time to start moving. I feel like I've done the inner work, at least to the point where I'm at the point where I'm ready to really start taking action. Like, I feel like I have, I'm sure not fully. I don't know if you ever, maybe you do, but I'm open to the idea that you may never fully overcome fear in this life. Although, I don't know. I feel like conceptually I have overcome fear. But it's a different experience when you're really put into it. So I have to be kind of careful with what I'm saying here, because I may be asking for a lot. You know, I may be inviting something that may challenge that. You know what I mean? But conceptually, I feel like I've overcome fear. Like, I understand that I have nothing to lose in this life. Mostly because nothing in this life belonged to me in the first place. Not my body, not the life itself, not anything within the life, right? Nothing external. Like, I'm simply observing. I'm observing. But at the same time, I am an active participant without attachment in my life. So that's really, to me, that's really like the art of the whole thing. It's like maintaining your position as the conscious observer of the reality that you're experiencing without attaching to any of it. I do really believe that all suffering comes from attachment, you know, because if you're not attached to any narrative, if you're not attached to, this is my body, this is my health, this is my life, this is my house, this is my family, this is my partner, this is my dog, this is my story, this is my job, this is my dream, this is my accomplishment. If you're attached to these things, then when you feel like they're threatened to be taken away from you, or they are, you do lose them, well, then you suffer. You suffer because you had that attachment. But when you realize that we are all simply observing a temporary experience that actually is an illusion, it's a collective illusion, it's a dream, and we never lose anything, ever, ever, ever. Not our dad, not our mom. We never lose them. Their temporary vessel for this experience may expire, and they might clock out of the game earlier than we do, out of the dream. Or our partner, our husband, our wife, our children, you know. We have those attachments, and we suffer greatly because of those attachments. Instead of realizing, hello, we did not lose our son, we did not lose our daughter, or our anyone. They're just as alive, and actually more alive, in the spiritual other side of existence, the non-physical, although this really isn't physical. They're in their true state, their true energetic state of love and light, of source energy. They're in the perfect state. Unless, of course, maybe they've chosen to go do another life, another temporary experience. You know, but it's attachments that make us suffer. If we would just realize that we never lose anything, that everything that we really love exists outside of this temporary existence, Like, you don't suffer anymore. You don't suffer. Now, I mean, suffering and like pain, I'm certain that there is a way to overcome pain and not actually feel pain in the body. I have not figured out how to do that. I think like monks and those kind of people have figured it out. Like they've done that extensive inner work to be able to separate themselves. There's also people who can like really pop in and out of their body, like have out of body experiences on cue, like instantaneously. They can will themselves out of their body. So in that sense, you can also avoid that kind of pain. So I'm talking like, the reason I'm even bringing up this tangent is because you could say, well, suffering is also pain. But you could also say, no, it's not. You know, you can be experiencing an external pain without suffering, you know, because you can really like lay into that pain and say, oh my God, I'm hurting. This is my life. I am only this pain, and this pain is happening to me, and ow. Or you can be like, have a conscious observer thought and be like, okay, my leg was just cut off. That hurts like fucking hell. I can actually feel that, but this is temporary. The pain will go away. It's also a temporary experience. Either I will survive this, or I won't. Or when I say I mean the body will survive this, or it won't. Either way is fine. Either way is a part of the plan. But we have so much power in our minds that we don't tap into, that we don't even realize, because we're so attached to the external narrative, whatever that narrative may be. So anyway, that's all kind of a tangent, but I guess getting back more to what I was trying to talk about was that right now, this season of my life, it's really about moving forward in faith and trust without evidence. You know, I've been hearing stories about like how Noah with the ark, you know, he built this ark with no rain. There was no rain. Everybody thought this man was absolutely batshit crazy because he's building this gigantic, gargantuan ark to put all these creatures in. And there's like no sign whatsoever that it's going to rain at all, let alone flood the earth, which, by the way, had never happened to their knowledge before. So what are you talking about? You're really, really crazy. But he didn't let that stop him. He was like, I have been told by God, this is my inner truth, that this is going to happen. Therefore, I'm going to move forward in faith and trust and build this ark, even though everybody in the world thinks I'm a freaking lunatic. I don't care. And I'm going to tell them about it, because I want those who have ears to hear and be saved. Well, guess what? None of them did. They all died. They all perished because they decided to be afraid instead of, you know, be open to the impossible, the quote-unquote impossible. So right now, again, federal speeds, and I'm fighting to not have people passing me. I don't know. And I know I shouldn't be driving federal speeds, but I'm not the only one, I'll tell you that. I'm hardly the only one out here driving like this. I've always had a problem with speeding. That's always been something that I do. Like, I can literally be 2 days early to an event, and I'm still going to speed at astronomical levels, because I don't know. That's just how I am. Like, that's how I've always been programmed. And it's like, well, you can have your consciousness adjusted so that you don't do that. I mean, yeah, I could. I don't think that's something I need to work on at this time. Anyway. Okay, so I've been done with nursing, and, I'm really at the point where, even though it is still, well, see, there you go. I'm already starting to disprove what I was just saying. I was saying I have absolutely no fear in me, and now I'm about to say, well, it's kind of scary. Oh, Lordy. This is what it looks like going through this process in real time. That's all I can say. It's really, you're figuring it out as you go. It's unfolding as you go. But like, I don't want to renew my license as a nurse when October comes. Every year in October, nurses have to renew their nursing license, or else it expires and they can't be a nurse, right? So basically what I'm saying is, I'm taking the degree, the only bachelor's degree that I have, that was a 4-year degree, and the license that was a result of it, that I've been practicing for 12 years, and I am going to sacrificially give it up, lay it on the altar of life, and burn it, right? Sacrifice it, and say, I am not afraid. Even though there is that residual fear, that old programming fear, that, oh my gosh, if I do this, there's no going back. There's no, you can't get a nursing job if you do that. So if things don't work out, you're kind of screwed. You got no other way to make income besides Taco Bell, right? And I'm saying, I understand. And I'm willing to take that step. I'm willing to move in that direction without evidence, in faith and trust that everything is going to work out beautifully, better than I could have even dreamt it up myself. I don't know what the outcome looks like. I don't even know what next month looks like. Okay? And I don't really care, because it's not like I don't care as like I am neglecting my responsibilities, or I'm just dusting off my hands and letting the chips fall where they may, and just letting it happen without doing anything on my own to help things go well. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I will do everything within my control that aligns with my highest truth and path to facilitate a beautiful outcome, and to pay all the bills that I need to pay, to take care of all the human responsibilities that I have to take care of. But I am not going to continue to walk down the path that does not align with who I really am and who I want to be, out of fear, out of old programming and conditioning. So, yeah, it's been what now? July 6th? So we're looking at almost 2 months, because it's August 28th. So we're almost 2 months into this awakening level, like a next level of awakening. Because, again, I've been in the awakening process for at least since 2023, at least. And so I will just simply keep moving forward and allowing life to unfold as it will. With number one, with gratitude and presence. And that's the thing too that I keep hearing is like, just like have fun in every present moment. Have fun in every present moment. Or at least try to. See how, like, have curiosity for how can life be fun right now? What could I do to enhance this now moment with love? Infuse it with love. Infuse it with fun and joy and gratitude. Every now moment. You know, if you really do that and you really live that life, your entire life is going to be spectacular. Because every now moment will be infused with gratitude and love. So no matter what is actually happening externally, what you're experiencing is fun and love and gratitude. So that's my update for right now. I will say that I do believe that this eclipse in particular is like a really powerful one, that collectively we are going to see so many things that have really ended and new things being born that are a part of the new earth, that are a part of higher consciousness earth, born out of love and creation and unity and peace and all of the things you would expect coming from higher consciousness and love. And we are the ones who are the literal vessels that are bringing that into the new earth. We are the architects of the new earth. We are building it in real time for future generations, for us to enjoy and for future generations to enjoy. You know, when the future generations from 500 years look back to now, they're going to say, wow, those were the ancestors who really pivoted and completely turned things around from that old world of hate and separation and scarcity and fear to one of abundance, unity, love, peace, joy, fun, creation, all of the things that we are currently working on doing. Okay? That's what we're doing. That's really exciting. Like, that's really incredible. So if you feel like that's something that has been gnawing, you've had a gnawing inside of you, that this resonates with you, then yeah, I'm talking directly to you. And this is definitely something that your soul wants to express through you, what you came here for. So, you know, it's the resistance of that causes suffering, you know, too. We resist just allowing ourselves to be who we actually are, so that we can maintain this narrative that we've been told we are. So that'll be it. This is a pretty short video compared to my other ones, but just wanted to give you that update, and I will keep you all updated on what comes.